The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live. Let's talk about sex. Featuring in-depth discussions on dating, intimacy, and relationships. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, let's talk about sex.
Come on.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. You know we talking about it. You know we talking about it. I like that. You know it. Remix. So we are back for another sexy episode today on Black Hollywood Live. Let's talk about sex. Everyone's doing it. We might as well talk about it. I am your host, Spicy Madi, and joining us today is co-host Phoenix White in the building.
Hello.
And we always have Drea Renee in the building.
Hey guys.
And we have a special guest for you. We have a sexpert. We brought a real sexpert and relationship expert. She is phenomenal. Her credentials are magnificent. We have Emily Morse in the building today, you guys.
Hello. Love being here with you.
You guys may
women.
recognize Emily from Sex with Emily. She has a podcast that she does, and she gives out sex advice, and it's a full panel discussion as well,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I have guests. I've been doing it for 8 years. I've done over 2,000 shows, and I have guests. I have callers. We do a little bit of everything. I've covered every topic on the planet. So yeah, you can get downloaded iTunes for free.
And so
Nice.
I know that
That's
we're lucky to have you as well, because you have a doctorate actually in human sexuality.
I do, yes.
And so that means that you are educated everything under the sun as far as sex goes.
It's true, but I have to say, because we were talking earlier about this, that I started my show, Sex with Emily, in my living room 8 years ago, because I just was interested. Everyone's going, I'm having the best sex. I'm having the best sex. I'm like, you are? I'm not having the best sex in my life. Really? What's
going on?
What does that mean? You're having the best? So I just invited some people over and started a podcast. And then for the first few years, I was like, you're an expert. I'm like, well, I don't know if so then I read every single book on the planet, did hundreds of shows with experts. So I really taught. And then I went back to school just a few years ago to get the degree. So really, I mean, there's so much information out there. The great books, talking to people, yeah.
Well, we're definitely going to make you spread and share your knowledge today on the show.
I will spread them. I'll share my knowledge. Everything's sex. People are like, how's your day? I'm like, you want a blowjob? Can I say this? Honestly, everything. I think you always say about sex.
Anytime we can squeeze in anything or sexual innuendo, we go in, okay?
Right.
So today we're going to start off with Hollywood Hotties doing the naughty. And we always start off the show with this because everyone in Hollywood is having sex. And so today we're discussing Olivia Wilde. She's on the cover of Glamour. And you guys might recognize Olivia from the show The House.
Yeah,
and she is currently holding her newborn baby, but she has her breast in the baby's mouth, if you didn't notice. So I want to get your guys' opinion on whether this is sexy or not.
I don't think it's either.
Because
I think it's just
it's the number one
Yeah, people are
it's
tripping
going
about this.
yeah, it's the number one picture right now that's Googled.
Trending,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's trending.
Everyone's wondering what's going on. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Beautiful.
I think people take things too seriously.
They
They're
really
just
do.
it's not that serious.
I mean, I think her partner probably
pretty.
thinks it's really sexy, and it is a beautiful photo of a woman with a baby. It's more, I don't know if it's sexy as much as it is just sort of like a beautiful image of a woman doing the most natural thing in the world, who just gave birth, and she's a beautiful woman in society. So, but I don't know if other guys who are not her partner would be like, oh, I'm getting turned on. By that.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
So-
she's giving the baby some milk.
Right.
So that could be sexy, in a way, titty in the mouth.
I don't know if it's sexy or not sexy. I just think it's a beautiful photo,
Right.
like she said. It
beautiful
doesn't make me
photo.
feel much of anything. But oh, that's a pretty photo.
That's sweet. But I
And it's
don't,
so controversial. It is kind of been controversial too, right?
Yeah,
the
I
fact that
get
she did
why,
that.
though.
Me neither. Everyone gets naked everywhere now, right?
People
Well,
are
she was
so
saying
dramatic.
that normally when she breastfeeds, it's not in a
Full makeup.
Yeah, and then
Probably a
I think she's
$3,000
wearing
dress.
Vera Wang or something
Yeah.
Right, of course. She's in her
And
sweats.
the baby usually has the diaper on.
Right. I mean, it's
I didn't
actually
even notice that. I didn't even
The
notice
baby's
that.
nude.
it's an artistic photo, but I don't like to
artistic.
think. I don't think sexy
Exactly.
breastfeeding.
No.
Yeah, no.
But
nice
again,
little
her
boo.
partner, her husband, whoever she's with, I'm bad
Is
with
it
that.
Jason Sudeikis?
Yes. He's
Yes.
probably like
Probably
that's
like,
beautiful,
she's hot.
and that's
Yeah,
that's
look
who
at her
should think
boob.
it's
Her boob
sexy.
looks good.
Nice
yeah, I
breasts.
mean they're up.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not
good.
like way down low.
Right.
They're,
Wait till
you
she
know.
stops breastfeeding and then.
Okay.
Yeah, I went through that.
Because they're nice and perky right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to get it out there whether or not, because it's huge and it's trending. And so I think there is something that can be sexy about being a mother. And obviously she had to have sex in order to create the baby. So hopefully, you know, her bedroom is just as fun and as exciting as it was before after the child. So we're
Yes.
wishing Olivia lots and lots
Yes.
of luck. But one thing that often occurs is bedroom mistakes. Now, whether they happen prior to, you know, children or after, regardless, they happen. And how do we avoid them? And what are men doing versus what are women doing? So we're going to get into that in just a second. But before, Emily, I want to get your opinion, because you actually write a article that you have on your website for Sex with Emily
Yeah.
that talks about bedroom mistakes.
Exactly. So if anyone goes to my website, sexwithemily.com, and you put in your email address, you'll get a report you can choose if you're a man or a woman. And we have the 5 biggest mistakes you're making if you're a man and if you're a woman. So that's the report on my site. And it's been very popular because people are like, oh, that's not me. I don't need this. And they're like, oh, no, I recognize myself.
I'm
on
doing
there.
all those things.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
so
pretty awesome.
So we did
Okay.
a little research of our own. And so you're going to tell us if we're on the right track. Because
Okay.
what I discovered trying to find out if, you know, I'm having appropriate sex or not, if I'm making mistakes, one of the things that I found was that the biggest mistake that men make, not taking sexual cues, like verbal cues.
Right.
That's a huge one, right?
huge. I mean, how else are they supposed to know what they're doing? I mean, women have got to pay attention to her reactions. Is she breathing? Is she moaning? Is she, her eyes rolling back in her head? Is she twitching, or is she just kind of lying there doing nothing? Guess what? You're probably not turning around in that moment.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that men, a lot of times, they're so concerned with their own performance
Yeah.
that they're not paying attention. But all the cues you need are there
they're
if you
available.
pay attention.
They
so
are
that
available.
definitely is one of the top hits. For sure.
And then have you guys
Points.
experienced that? Is that something that you guys have, like, you've been with a man, maybe he's not catching on to your breathing?
I just tell them.
I'm very, I communicate a lot.
too.
I'm like, I want you to do that or do that longer
Good for
or
you.
don't do this thing. So I communicate a lot. So it's
I
a little
grew
different.
into that though. I used to not be like that at first. At
Right.
first I would just be like,
Disappointed.
if I'm quiet, he's going to change this, right?
Right.
But they
Because we
don't.
expect men. Well, that's one of the mistakes.
them
I don't
to
want to
know.
jump ahead, but one of the biggest mistakes that women make is that they think men are mind readers.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, he's just gonna figure it out because he's a dude, so he knows. This is what he
Yeah.
does. No, and every woman's different. So how is he
Exactly.
supposed to know? His last girlfriend wanted this, and you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
You gotta
does,
tell
seem,
them.
it does seem complicated when you think of it like that. Like, you think about the partners that you've been with, and every single one wants something different. They all like
Exactly.
something different.
Right, it's true, and especially women. I mean, men's equipment. You know, it's kind of not that they don't vary, but it's kind of the same. But women is like. We vary.
Yes.
I always say like the
Everybody's
vagina is like the Rubik's Cube of life for men. They're like, well, I don't get it.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm so confused. My last one, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when you are giving the cues, like say you're saying, okay, hold me tighter, grab me tighter, and they're not taking the cue, what else can you do other than yell in their ear?
Say, get me a sandwich because this is so good. I'm really
I've been in that
thirsty.
situation where I'm like, okay, squeeze me, push me down on it, and they're not taking the cue.
And what do you
and
mean
I'm
they're
like,
not taking the cue?
I
I need to
understand
understand
that.
this. You're like, baby, squeeze me harder. and he's just
and
not
they
listening.
just-
yes, it's like not.
They just don't
enough.
do it.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Are
want
you
to, like,
whispering?
No.
She's got a bullhorn. No.
And I don't want to like smack, like, you know, like listen
I
to me.
will.
But you know
Well,
what?
the best time to have these conversations, I would say, is out of the bedroom because maybe he's in his own world. So the best time to have talks, your partner feedback is when you're not having sex, maybe when you're on a road trip, having breakfast the next day, but not in the bedroom. And you say, babe, and you got to sandwich it. God, sex was hot. I love having sex. It's
Yes,
so
the
hot.
positive
You know what?
reinforcement.
Yes.
And do you know what feels amazing and what really, like, when you hold me really, don't even address the fact that he didn't hear you the night before because all you know, he was in his own whatever. So you could say, but when you hold me tight like that when you squeeze my ass or whatever, it sends me to the moon. And then hopefully he gets it. But if he doesn't get it after that, you can try another time. But then other than that, he's either selfish, not has a bad memory. I
So
don't know.
they do say that the sandwiching the comment is important. That
Very
if you're going
important.
to tell a man a negative, you have to sandwich it with at least 5 compliments. They say
5?
5 because the male ego
Really?
is so huge that I heard that you have to sandwich it with 5.
Wow, I've
never
heard
heard that one.
Give lots of compliments,
What if
all
you
the
don't
things
have
you
5?
love, and then put the. What if you don't have 5?
do that.
You have to come up with at least 5.
Yeah, I mean, no, you could, but then it
It's a
seems
lot.
like,
It's
then his
forced.
ego's soaring and he's not going to hear the negative. He'll be like, I'm a
Ain't she good?
stallion.
5 compliments.
He'll be like, I'm a
Alright.
stallion, whatever. I'm not squeezing you hard enough. But no, but
exactly.
give a few compliments. Like, we all want that, right?
Yeah.
When someone gives you feedback, or even it's an employee or anything in life, it helps to start with the positive and then move
go
into
into
where we need some
the
help.
constructive criticism.
Exactly.
Also, maybe trying to like to do something to where you really get his attention if you're in the space and not, you know, outside the bedroom. If you're in it, like I will make you get my
I'll just
like
stop. I'm
get
like,
your
okay,
attention.
whoa.
Like there has to be a way where you
do?
can stop
Yes.
them to get their attention
just
to where
stop.
they're paying attention to you. Like, look at me. I want you to put your arms right here. And I'll like really like get into it and like get
refocus
his,
in.
Yeah, like stop them. Like don't even move. But like I'll put your hands up and I will hold you down and I'll be like, stop. Me too. I want you to take this hand and I want you to put it here.
And then
this
do they
hand,
like
put it
that
there.
though? Because one of the biggest complaints that men have about women in bed is they don't initiate sex enough.
But they like it when you tell
They
them
like
what
it
to
when
do.
you do. A man wants you to tell them. They
Yeah.
do. They
Yeah,
really
they
do.
do. You
Because
get
they
their
don't know.
attention.
Again, we expect them to know. We expect them to
Right.
know. We all think that, I think, growing up. And we're sort of socialized as women to think that it is all about the male pleasure and it's not really about our own.
No, it's not.
Well, that's right. It's not at all. And so I hope that's really changing. I think it is changing.
Yes.
And so, but I think when we're younger, we're thinking, well, I want to look good. I want to feel
Right.
good for him. I want to make him feel good. And we don't
Exactly.
think about our own pleasure. But then the more experience you have, you think, wait, what about me? I want this as well. So kind of merging
Especially when
those.
you're just having sex with someone, it's sometimes difficult to say like, oh, hey, don't do whatever, because you are wanting to like connect with the person
Right.
and not criticize them.
Exactly.
So when you've been with someone for a while, then I start thinking that maybe you feel like they should just already know.
Right, and they don't. They do
Yes.
not.
And you can always
But
explore and try new things
Yeah.
too.
And
That's the
people
number-
change.
people change.
What you like changes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so, and to me, like a successful relationship, successful sex life is when you are constantly expanding and growing.
Yes.
And 'cause
Communicating.
It becomes communication is a lubrication. I always say it because it's like, it's true. Couples don't talk about sex. You can't imagine these emails I
It's
get.
so important.
They email me before they're talking about. I've been with
They
my
need to
wife
be
for
tuning
20
into the
years.
show.
I know exactly, exactly. No, but they're like, I haven't talked. 20 years we've been together, and I'm like, do you know what our fan is? Talk, because it's weird. Because I think we all start out in relationships, and the sex is amazing. Like I could have amazing sex with this coffee cup for 3 months, right? Like, who doesn't have amazing sex at first? But then
Right.
eventually,
Right. Everybody's going to get
Yeah.
bored.
but you didn't
Yes.
learn how to talk about it, and you think it's weird, and he's going to feel bad, and then or she's going to feel bad, and then time goes by. So I always tell couples, start at the beginning, start talking about it at the very beginning, because then you develop that language,
Right.
and then start bringing like my book here, 200 things you can try tonight. It could be anything. Go shopping at a sex toy store, or just you got to keep
small
expanding. It
things.
gets
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah,
It does.
exactly.
That's biology. After a while, you're going to
boring.
get tired.
And you know he's going to do this, you're going to do this. I hate when sex gets to that
Right,
routine
stagnant.
place.
But are
Yeah.
you also part of making it routine and
Sure.
stagnant? So
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I
Yes.
think
Yes.
we
Everybody
all
has a
have to-
responsibility.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all
It's
not
have
just
to
the men.
continue to like make it fun and interesting and like surprise them with something new. They come home with you have on a new outfit or you have on
Exactly.
like a little something teasing.
Yeah, no, those are all like important things because those are all that's what keeps it spicy in the relationship. One of the other mistakes that men make in the bedroom is that they aren't warming up the engine properly. So by that we mean oral. They're not having oral, and a lot of women don't vocalize that that's something that's important to them, and they want to be liked in the situation and be comfortable and make him comfortable. And I know a lot of guys who don't go down before
Right.
they have sex, and I have friends who complain about that.
Are they single?
And they haven't
yeah.
told the guy.
Because that's awful.
They got to tell them. Yeah, I mean, well, I have a whole theory on this, but no, I believe
What's your
that
theory?
we can. How graphic can we? I'm just thinking.
You can
say
be
vagina.
very
And I'm a
graphic.
doctor, so okay, no. I think that there's men who love the vagina and men that don't love the vagina. I mean, and then the
Yeah.
men who and they all want to have sex with it, but there's guys who are like into it, like, oh babe, did you shave? Did you get a wax? I just want to get in there. I want to know it. I want to be friends. And those guys are like, can we just pump this out? Like,
Yeah.
And I don't know that they're ever going to change. It's kind of like tomato. Like you love tomatoes, you hate
Yes.
them. I can't be all of a sudden I'm going to love tomato. So I think there are guys for whatever reason, maybe they had a bad experience with the vagina, or they're just like they just don't like it, and those are not the guys that I typically want to be with. But there are women who don't like oral sex as well, so
Yes,
they
exactly.
need to match.
Understand that.
There needs to be a dating site just.
For
Here's
pe-
people who
yes.
like oral. Here's people who don't. but it is important. So many women need to be warmed up. And foreplay, I always say it's not a suggestion. It's actually a requirement.
Yeah.
Because we can't go from 0 to 6. We're not turned on just because you're turned on. And oral sex is.
How do you have that conversation with them though? If they aren't pleased by their partner's lack of oral,
Right.
fixation, what do you say to them? Like, hey, can you put your head in between my
Yeah,
legs tonight?
it's a
You lick
really,
me.
it's a tricky one. Just say, so, we've been together, I'm just wondering, I really love performing oral. It feels really great to perform with you, but I love, say, as if he's never done it, say it would feel amazing to feel you down there performing why don't you, you don't want to make them feel bad. You don't want to say like, why aren't you?
Right.
And you don't want to use this language like, you never do this or you never do that. You could say, God, it would feel amazing to feel your lips.
Are you guys paying
between
attention?
my
This is
legs.
great advice.
Yes.
How to say it is very important.
Yeah, it is so important because if you do the you things like, babe, you never, it just
That's
shuts
all
off.
they hear.
Oh,
That's
men
all
hate
they
that.
hear. You never, and then
It's
they don't
defense.
listen.
So you just say like, I love our sex. It's so great. This is what I love. The sandwich thing I loved. God, last night making out was so hot, and I would just love you to make out with me between my legs.
But you're right.
Something
Some
like
men
that.
just don't do it. I dated a guy that he was 35 and only done it once, and then
Yeah.
he never wanted to do it again.
And
I
did you
was
ask
like,
him
Somebody who
why?
would never do
oh
it.
no, I just said bye, Felicia.
You were with somebody
Yeah,
who never
you're
did
like,
it.
bye-bye,
No.
right.
I said I know someone who's never done it, like a
Never?
guy, and he's
That's
like
crazy
35.
to
He was-
me.
and he was like, I probably never will. I just don't like to.
See, but
Oh no,
But that's
man.
Well, I
him.
always-
I knew
How
that
does
he
he know
wasn't
he
for
doesn't
me.
like to if he's never done it?
I just knew that he wasn't for me after that.
Right.
No, but I'm saying, how does he know he doesn't like to
I
get
didn't ask.
She's like, I didn't care.
I didn't ask anymore. I just
She
was done with the
deleted his
You were like,
number.
lose my number?
No,
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna be cool.
no, exactly. I didn't ask
You're like,
him why
friend
either. I was
zone.
like,
Yeah, we're gonna be friends. That's not
Yeah.
gonna work with us.
I had a
thing.
boyfriend once. I had the same thing, and we were dating for a while, and then we were on vacation somewhere. It was very nice. But I said to him, I was at dinner, I had a martini. I was like, "So, babe, really, like, what's up? Like, I mean, is it that you're not really into it, or you're not?" Because I always assume like either they're just not into it, or they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
they need a little
Right.
guidance because it's confusing. I was like, "Is it that you're not in? You don't like it?" Or is it that you kind of want guidance? Because I'm happy to give you.
Don't worry.
He's like, "Nah, it's just not my thing." And I was like, "Okay, well, you're not my thing either."
No,
It's so important.
Yeah, but but
Yeah.
honestly, there are women who truly, for whatever, a lot of women, it's self-esteem. They're insecure
Yes,
about
I think
it.
it's insecurity thing.
Yeah, they're like, smell, taste. But for some women, it actually is too sensitive for them. Like it doesn't feel good. Like that's for real. Like they really are. They're like it hurts.
How
And
common is that? Because I haven't heard about that.
I know it's. I don't think it's very common, but it is. I would say out of maybe 20% of women who don't like it, I'd say 80% is probably more embarrassment or self-esteem, and maybe 20 to 30%, even 30, I'd say they're just too sensitive.
Wow.
And a lot of times the women who don't like it is because they're multi-orgasmic. And they can have orgasms really easily, and their clitoris, everything's really sensitive, and so they just don't like it.
I think I might be one of those people.
I was just
there
thinking
you
that
go.
too. I might be as well
Because
because I
I-
have all the orgasms,
I
like
have all of them.
clitoral,
I don't
vaginal,
like to-
everything.
Yeah, I don't
me
like
too.
to keep going over and over. Like if you do it,
No.
I have an orgasm. I don't want you to keep going. I don't want to do it again. I want to
Right.
start
Yeah,
having
you want to go to
sex.
sleep, right?
Right.
No, I want to start having sex. Like I want to be penetrated. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
keep. I
Oh,
want
you're
you to
saying
keep
if you
going.
stay doing oral.
Yeah, they want to
Oh, I thought you
stay
were
and they want to
saying
keep
after
going
the
again.
orgasm.
It's like I just had an orgasm. I don't want you to keep going. It's not
Right.
going to happen again unless you blow on it, desensitize it, and start
Right.
over.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen again. But they think I'm going to have another
Right,
orgasm.
okay,
Like
right.
stop.
And I'm like, I can.
No,
fake
I'm
it.
not running because I'm running. I'm running because I want you to stop.
So do you just say, baby, that was awesome. I really want to feel you inside me. And then transition.
Well, I do now, but
Okay.
eventually I just be like, okay,
But
maybe
do you
stop.
like
I just
them
want
to
to feel
make you
you.
have an orgasm first when they're going down on you and then have sex?
I don't care. I just want to play.
Oh, okay. Because
You know,
I don't
but
want
if
the
I
orgasm
do-
yet. Because if I
No,
have the orgasm
I don't like
before
it
we have
either.
sex, I'm like done for the night.
no, not
I'm
me.
like,
I can
just
keep
play
on
with
going.
it, and then like we can continue on after
right.
that. Let's
Because
get
sometimes
into
you just
it.
need to get right. It doesn't need
Yeah.
to go to orgasm. It can just be a
No.
warm
I like
up.
to have it and then right into sex.
All right.
What about you? Do you like to?
I like to have it. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love to warm up, and sometimes I can have an orgasm and then have another one.
Yeah.
A lot of times, oftentimes, I hope. Usually. But no, I like it. I need, and also just when we say foreplay, it doesn't. So for the people who are not into oral sex, the women who don't want it, I mean, there's so many other things you could do, and a lot of times in long-term relationships, like one of the first things that goes is kissing.
Yes.
You know how much we love making out at the beginning of a
At the
relationship.
beginning, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, see
Taking
you
your pants
later.
off or whatever, and then you're just having sex. You're like, what happened to the
Yeah.
kissing? So I really believe that we have so many erogenous zones on our body, like the
Yeah.
nape of our neck, like our, our nipples, our hands, our inner thighs tease us, bring us to the point of wanting it and begging for it, and that we want them not to go right for it. Even if we're talking about oral sex, you rub my inner thighs. I mean, you want to build the anticipation, and that's foreplay. There's a lot of different ways to do it.
Have you ever played like the kissing game? You know, when you play this game where it's like kiss me, and then you have to pick the part of your body that you want to be kissed on.
No.
So I do it. That's another way to get people to do oral on you.
you You're like,
You
kiss right
basically
there.
have like these, you can make little cards, you can cut them up in a piece of paper, and
they
you
have sex
pick one,
dice,
and it
too.
says kiss, and then
Love
it's
that.
wherever you tell them to kiss you.
I have a board game like that.
Touch, you know,
Of course you do.
you
roll
can
the
make it on
dice.
your own.
Yeah, you roll the dice, and then it tells you like the different places on the board
to
or
get
whatever
that
that you
game.
have to, touch, taste, lick, and then eventually when you
Yeah.
get to the end, it's sex. But
Well, you can just take turns too. You can just take turns, and then you can say, "Kiss me."
Yeah.
On my shoulder.
is this
or
a
on my
homemade
back.
game that you make?
I don't use the paper anymore. I just say it. So I'm like, and then we go back and forth.
She's initiating. I love it.
We just go back and forth. I'm like, your turn. It's like, kiss me here, and it's very sexy and cool. So that's also a good way to get somebody to start doing order. I want you to kiss me. Like, you can point. I want you to kiss me right there.
Yes.
Right.
You know,
and
so
there's
that
also
would be a good
sex
way.
dice. You know what's really fun? There's sex dice.
I love
Yeah,
sex
that's what you
dice.
say.
Oh, I don't have those.
Yeah, so one of the die has like lick, tickle, kiss,
They have glow-in-the-dark
rub.
sex dice,
and then
too.
on the other one has
they
like
do.
feet, hands, different parts of your body. So when you roll it, it'll be like lick toes or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, my toes like, but so yeah, that's another fun way where you can make your own.
A common mistake
Exactly.
that men
you
make that they don't
almost say
even
vagina,
think
sorry.
about is that they might not be receiving oral because they're not properly groomed down there.
Right.
And they, you know, sometimes men complain, oh, my girl doesn't go down on me, or, you know, this chick I hooked up with doesn't go down on me.
Yeah.
You guys, you have to manscape. Like, that's a requirement as well. Just like we have to wax, you guys got to manscape.
Okay.
And
Some
so
people
they don't
like
take that into
it.
consideration sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but that's a huge mistake that guys make, letting it just be.
I don't like it all gone because that
Right.
kind of freaks me out. But if it's not trimmed up a little, just a little
I think
bit.
some guys don't care.
No, some guys who don't care.
Yeah,
my
they
ex
don't.
didn't care.
Because I know for me, like, I don't like having hair anywhere.
Right.
But the last boyfriend I had, he wanted me to have a little
Every
bit. And
guy
I was
likes
just like,
something
no.
different.
I don't want
Everyone's
that.
different.
Yeah.
Some people want a
makes you feel
landing
good.
strip. Some people want the Playboy bunny.
Yeah.
Some people want it all gone.
Yeah.
What does your man normally want you to have?
You know, I don't even care. I'm ask him, but no, honestly, I feel like it changes. I feel like most guys are into nothing, which is just
Most
easy
men
too.
are into
Yeah.
nothing.
Which is just easier.
And it's a
It's just-
cheaper wax too when they're waxing you, because when they take it all off, it's
can't do wax.
like $10 cheaper if they take it all off.
Yeah.
Than if they have to do a design.
Yeah, and I'm always in a rush, so it's like,
they're-
take it off. I gotta go. 5 minutes. I got
feel
5
like
more
they're
minutes in the
ripping-
meter.
I feel like
Hurts.
ripping my vagina off. I can't take it.
does
I
hurt.
try and they always
it
go back and
lasered.
do it again. But I think on darker skin, it doesn't do it as well.
Oh,
Yes, that's true.
So-
We have to get special lasers.
Yeah.
It's more
the
expensive.
no-no. Do you guys know the no-no?
No, what's the no-no?
No-no is a hair remover that you can get at home, and if you go to, what is it, nonoemily.com? Is that it? Oh. No, we have a special deal with them, and it's a thing you can use at home and to remove your hair, and it's like it zaps it off, and it
Oh,
lasts a
really?
really long time, and you
really?
can use it anywhere on your body that you need
yes,
to.
I think
Your
I've heard
face,
that.
your lip. They
I've
advertise on
seen
TV
that.
all the time, and we just got
I
this.
see that. It's like
Yeah.
is it the electrical pulse
Yeah, and
one?
men can use it too. Yeah,
Kinda thing?
it
Okay,
doesn't
I did
hurt.
just
Like
see
I'm
it.
even watching TV. I'm doing like
And so you
everything.
can just zap your
seen
own
that.
hair down
Anything-
there.
everything.
Now, what if you zap the wrong thing? Like, what if you zap your clit?
Well, it grows back, so it's not. Oh, don't do that.
Ooh.
But no,
'Cause that
I
would
mean,
hurt.
but it's. I think you should be careful. Mind the clit. Just make sure you stay away, I guess, on the in their thighs and
Yeah.
stuff. But men can also use it, like lower back. Like men get the hair in the neck, and
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't want to go into a.
The older they get, the ears.
How many times do you have to do it in order for the hair to start? to stop
right away. Like
Oh,
I'd
okay.
say you do it a few times over like a few week period, but right away it's gone, and then you just keep maintaining it. Yeah.
So you just happen to give your man that as a gift, like, here,
Yeah.
babe, you know, notice you have a little hair growing.
Yeah, we do it
I'll handle
together.
that.
Grooming, like monkeys.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
do it for him. Just be like, I'm about to groom you. Lay down.
See, well, the grooming, that's a common mistake that men make in the bedroom. And being mute, that's another one. Men not communicating with you back
Right.
verbally what they like that you're doing as well. That's
Right.
common also, right?
It is very common that men don't communicate. Or when you funny though, when you first said mute, I thought the men who just never say anything, they have an orgasm.
No.
You're like, did you have an orgasm? And they're like. I'm like, I missed it because you're like,
Right.
I was with this guy when that's how he orgasmed.
Oh,
I missed that.
I like that. I like it when they're
We want to hear you. We
expressive.
want you to be vocal. We want
Tell
to
me
make
that
it
you're about to
hot.
come, because that might make me come quicker.
Yes, exactly.
It
Like
definitely does.
verbalize that, but then also men should be telling women what we want to hear it, right? We wanna, like I always ask, like, was this good? Is that good? You know, and they're like, yeah, baby, you're great. But no, if there's something else you want, I think that guys should absolutely ask for it.
Yes.
Tell us all the great things we do first. Do the sandwich
Do the
approach.
sandwich,
But
please.
yeah, it'd be really fun if we, or I'd love to tie you up. That'd be really hot. Or if you wore a sexy dress in here, or if you performed oral sex to me more, go a little
Yeah.
slower.
Or if you poured Emily and Tony
Oh, this
wax
is my
all over
favorite.
my body.
Yes, I have these massage candles, and they are really cool because you just light them. First of all, they look like, I don't know if because everyone's like, massage what? Can I? Oh, my kids
Oh my gosh,
can't
it
see it.
smells so good. If you guys
Yeah.
could smell this, you would be.
They are.
awesome.
So that's cocoa. This is fougere, and then there's vanilla, and they look like regular
Oh, it does
candles.
smell good.
It smells
And
really
but it's
good.
made out of coconut oil and soybean oil, all natural. And you let the oil pool. You light it, and then it becomes oil. and
you
blow it out.
massage, really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
And then you pour it in your partner's body, and it's not waxy or sticky or hot. It's not going to do
oil.
anything. And you give them the most. And I'm telling you, I've gotten emails from people that are like, this has saved our sex life because it's aromatherapy. It smells good, and you get all oily, and it's fun
like that.
And it's just a fun little way to spice it up.
Plus,
exactly, and it's
being
kind
able
of
to
hot.
massage.
Like it's a little bit of kinky, but it's not like messy and whack.
Now you
whack.
showed me this lotion a little bit earlier. I could probably use this right now. You guys with titties at home, if you have big titties, you know that they sweat. In addition to the inner thigh sweat, okay?
Yeah, this is a miracle product. This is our best. Like it's
It has a fresh light, but this is it's like a powdery talc, and it absorbs any moisture on your body.
Yep,
and like also prevents chafing.
Exactly. It's like a miracle. I mean, it's called Down Under Comfort, and it's a lot of like men, women, we use talcum powder, right? But it's messy, and it can be actually carcinogenic, talc. So it's a cream, and it turns into a light powder, so it's not messy. And anywhere you sweat, lower breast, back, between your legs, all day long, you won't sweat. And it has citrus scent.
Smell how good it smells.
And hygiene is also for men. Speaking of manscaping, a lot of men think they're fresh. They're like, I showered this morning. But if men put this on in the morning between their legs, like on their balls, whatever, all day long they will be fresh and dry.
Oh, really? All day long? Because sometimes your man might come home and it smells like a Mexican burrito.
Exactly. And this
it's been a long day, huh? Go get in the shower. Go get
but they
in the
think
shower.
they're fresh because they showered. But this will keep you, and women too. Anywhere.
No, I used it earlier. I put it in between my. And my inner boobs are dry.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
Yes.
It kind of is. I'm proud of it.
I took the test. I took the challenge, the Emily and Tony challenge.
Your boobs are always wet.
Yes, there's always some juice on the inside.
I should bring you
and
some
it's dry on the inside.
Yeah,
it's dry.
Oh, that's a miracle.
Oh, so usually it's not. Oh, see.
Usually it's moist on the show because we sweat while we're in here. I'm talking about sex. I'm getting hot, and
I getcha.
So
it's kind of a miracle. I'm so glad. Try it. I have more. We'll give you more in my car.
I'm
But
definitely taking that home and putting it everywhere. Even for the gym, if we go work out, maybe put some in between my thighs.
Oh, totally. You won't sweat lower back, everything. And it's if people want to go emilyandtony.com, use code Emily for 20% off.
Nice.
Oh, nice. We're going to have to use that 20%.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to get these.
So what inspired you to come out with this line?
Well, it's funny because my partner Tony owns a wildly successful skincare line called Anthony Logistics. It's a top seller at Sephora, Neiman Marcus. He's been around for 10 years. And so he and I are friends from childhood, but we lost touch. We're having dinner. He came to visit San Francisco for work, and we were sitting there at dinner. Hadn't seen him in 20 years, and we just started talking about lube. Because we also have a lube that hasn't come out yet, of course, every conversation.
So are we going to get some of that lube too?
Yeah, totally. Because I've said to him, I said, what the hell is the problem with lube? Because there's such a stigma. She's dry, there's discomfort, better bring out the lube from inside under the bed.
Yeah.
And I said, it enhances women's experience. Even if she's wet, is wet, when you add a little bit, it's even better. Women always report they have more orgasms with lube. And I said, I want a lube in every nightstand. Like I was just going off on this lube rant. He's like, I'll make a lube with you. And then we started this line. And I said, well, let's do a massage candle too. Because there's other companies that make them, but they're not that good. So I I think that we perfected it because it's not. Well, I do because people who own the stores that sell it are like, yours are our favorite. But we worked really hard on it. Like I tested so many candles because I didn't want it to be. I don't want you to change your sheets. I don't have to worry about it getting all over the place. I want it to burn. I want it to be moisturizing because honestly, I don't always have someone at massage every night, but I light it and I blow it out and I use it all over my body just to. You'll see. It's the most like moisturizing.
That's awesome.
We use it in my office every day. We're always like pouring it on and people stop.
I'm going to try them.
So that's how we were inspired. We have a few more products coming out, some wipes and stuff that are coming out. And
what are the wipes for? Like if you
feminine wipes
before you if you accidentally
before sex.
Maybe
he comes over and you're going to go to his house. You just didn't know you coming back from going out. You wipe real quick.
You leave it in your purse and you're like, little wipe, pH balanced.
Oh,
feminine wash. It's not out yet, but I will send you all some. And I think if we have more, I'll give you some in my car. But I will send you all some.
So Tony's not your man. I thought Emily and Tony.
Not
I thought he was your man.
I know everyone thinks that.
Now, are you in a relationship as a sexpert? We have to. Everybody
would
assume that you have like men dropping at your feet because you know probably everything to do to make them come every which way.
Yeah. I do have a lot of men that I see in my life, but I'm not in a committed relationship. I've never really been oriented towards
Gemini
being a one.
Yes.
Right?
It's true.
I'm not like a one man show. Like I've been in committed relationships, but right now I'm just kind of having some fun dating work really hard, growing
that's
my
what the
brand.
concept of Misadvised was about, right?
Oh, right, on Bravo.
You did the show Misadvised.
Right.
And that dealt with the women on the show. You guys are experts in relationships, but don't have a current relationship.
Right.
And so it was kind of exploring, how you guys give this advice, but you're not seeing anybody.
Right. So but no, I am seeing people.
Well, you're seeing someone, but you're not in an exclusive relationship.
Exactly. And that show, so that was a reality show on Bravo a few years ago, and it was about 3 single dating experts. Do we practice what we preach? So of course they go in, are we misadvised? So I'm like, God, I've been building this brand for 8 years, and I'm trying to show that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I have to say that, thank God, it actually helped. I actually came out looking not like a total asshole. So it was good. It was really good for everything. But they kept trying to trying to catch me in these rules and lies, because I'm not one of these women who has all these rules that you should follow, and I'm a sex expert. I'm not. I do practice what I preach sexually, but I don't necessarily. I've been in relationships, out of them, I'm dating, but I'm not really looking to be in a full-on committed one right now.
So
but
you don't
I'm
want to be
having
married
great
anytime soon?
No, I've never wanted to get married. Could change. I know. It's a little odd.
No.
It's not the norm.
It's not
the norm. And I'm very open. And I think this show actually helped me too, because I've always kind of said it, but 3 months, cameras following you, the whole thing. I'm like, God, I really, and they kept trying to push me, like, don't you want Prince Charming? Don't you? I don't.
Not every woman wants that.
I said, I feel like I'm from another planet sometime, but monogamy just has never been my thing. And at what point in life do you just accept that this is who I am?
Exactly.
And I'm open to it one day being my thing. Maybe one day I'll meet someone and I'll be like, oh yeah, you're the only one I want to be with. But
right now,
thus far, hasn't happened.
It's not by circumstance, it's by choice.
It's by choice.
Yes, because it's
I
a
choose
hot body over here.
Yeah.
You can get it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean,
so.
I choose it, and I moved to LA a year and a half ago, and I meet a lot of nice people and have a good time.
Yeah, girl.
I got to keep doing research too.
She pulls out her candles and her lube and oil. She's like,
oh my God. Well, I have a full-on, my garage is filled with sex toys. Next time I'll bring you guys sex toy in my office.
We want
it's
it all.
Sex toys.
Yes.
We accept
Now I'm
everything.
upset. I wish, I feel like we can be best friends. I'll bring you. Whatever you want.
Yay.
Everything.
Everything. So I have a guy that I'm
Bring it
seeing
on.
that is whenever I go visit him, he's like, he's not visit LA, it's 20 minutes far, 30 minutes, but he's like, bring your toys, he's into it, because I think there's a misconception that, do you guys use sex toys?
Yes.
I don't. That was the last
that
thing.
was the last thing.
Yes.
Phoenix, no.
Okay.
No more.
You're against them, or you just don't like
I'm not
them?
against them. I don't like the vibrating
Oh,
ones
okay.
because it makes me itch.
So maybe a dildo, something that doesn't vibrate.
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh my God.
Phoenix.
We gotta
We
get
all
her.
gotta realize
on
that
real
it's
stuff.
I get it.
Get that. We get that, but you
both.
gotta try a
It's
toy.
all about expanding. And the thing is that men, this has changed in recent years, but a lot of men think it's going to replace me, or it's bigger than me, or why does she need it? It's like, honey, listen, it is your new best friend, because it can cut the time in half that you actually need to please her. She's not going to run out for their vibrator. They don't cuddle.
We'll be like, we're leaving.
They don't cuddle. I'm not going to leave for my vibrator. And the other thing is that men actually like the vibrations. You can put play with them with the vibrations. They're like, whoa, they've never felt that either. So I think sex toys are a good time. But I have a guy who's my tester, because I can test him out. And he's like, I'm bring over a suitcase of toys. Yeah, it's fun.
I'll be a tester for
I
you.
haven't tried it yet.
She will.
The last time I did it was a really long time ago. It was probably 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, they've come a long way.
I mean, I masturbate a lot, but I just don't use any toys.
That's good. What, do you use lube, or you're just full on fingers?
Yeah. Well, I don't use my fingers, but I just want
rub.
to tilt myself the right way to where.
But she can come on her own. She said while she's driving.
I do it in traffic a lot.
Really? Because it's just
There's a lot of traffic in LA. She's told me all the time.
And
I'm sitting.
Yes.
I'll be sitting in the car, and the car is vibrating a little bit. I don't like that full on vibration, but it's just slightly. Well, just slight.
And how long does it take you on your own?
20 seconds, not
It's
even.
not long, because I know how to tilt my body. I study my body, so I know how to tilt my body to the right degree to where I know I'm going to come.
Learn
That's
their body.
one of my biggest
More
mistakes
women
for
need
women.
to understand what makes them tick. And so, we have a panel who's very sexually
you get an
confident,
accident.
but we want to help other women get sexually confident.
Well,
that's a bedroom mistake
that
for
is
women.
number one.
Yes.
I would say is
so.
that.
Let's go through the mistakes that women often make, because you mentioned some earlier. You said lack of communication. One huge one is women worrying about what they look like when they're having sex.
Yes.
That's a big one, ladies.
Yeah.
He's in the room with you naked.
Yeah.
He's not thinking, oh God, but she gained a pound, or why did she have that, bump on her? He's so happy to be having sex with you, and he's excited.
Yeah.
And he's not looking at what you're thinking about. So I think self-esteem is another one of the biggest killers of women's sex drive. And
Yes.
no matter how much weight they're still going to have it. So if your self-esteem is this deep-rooted from childhood, go to therapy and figure it out, because you've got to make it your life work to cultivate confidence and not be that woman in the bedroom is one with the lights
it's a
off.
turn off if you're not confident.
Yes.
Right. You leave your shirt on to the very last minute. You go to the bathroom and you got
You're
you
jumping and turning the lights off like
But
that.
I'm not gonna lie though. There's been a time where I've been on top, and I'm like, dang, I wonder if you can see this little layer right here pinching over.
Stuff.
Every woman at some point has thought about how they look on top, or if their titties are clapping, whatever.
But it's impacting your ability to be present and to be in the moment. And the more confident you are, that's sexy to him. Like, it doesn't matter if you are confident and you love your body, it's like everything in life. Like, if that's what you're projecting, he's going to love it right back. And he probably already was. But the number one thing I think is that women don't know their bodies. They don't spend that, except for you, but they don't. They don't spend the time getting to know their own bodies. And a lot of women believe, someday my prince will come and so will I.
Know.
Right, but think about it. Someday my prince will come and then so will I. They think like, oh, he's going to show up and it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
And well, we all know it doesn't happen that way. So women don't take the time to masturbate and to figure out what makes them feel good so they can explain it to their partner. We're thinking he's going to figure it out. But unless we tell him and show him, they're not going to know. And also, it's expansive. So just because you know how to orgasm in this one way doesn't mean that there aren't other ways you can orgasm, like G-spot orgasms, or maybe your breast orgasms, clitoral, G-spot.
Orgasm.
The breastgasm is the second most common type of orgasm.
How do I get a breastgasm? Because I don't think I've had a breastgasm.
Right, you probably haven't. You got it. You might be able to. Oh my God! I love you.
Okay, how do we have a breastgasm? Tell us. I need to know.
Can you do it now?
Well, everybody is different. Well, for me, it's different. So for me, if you just lick around it and you keep licking around it and keep licking around it, and if you rub up against me the right way while you're doing it, or you wrap your arms around me a certain way,
you can breastgasm.
I have to be at a certain
does the breastgasm
angle.
come out of your vagina, or does the breastgasm just come out of your breast?
I mean, it comes. I mean, you feel it all through your body.
You shake. You do different things.
Yeah, it's an orgasm. I mean, but it's not. Yeah, you just feel it all over your.
But like no juices like flush out.
No.
Well, then I might have breastgasmed and I just didn't know. I probably breastgasmed.
I mean, you just feel the same feeling like an orgasm, but again, you might not even know it. So maybe next time you're masturbating, you're like, okay, I've been doing it the same way. I'm gonna put some lube on or a vibrator and just start touching them and see how it feels.
Where
and it might not happen the first time.
Else can we gasm from? So can I ass-gasm or neck-gasm?
Yeah, anal
orgasm?
sex. Women can have orgasms through anal sex. A lot of women.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that is actually.
I mean, it's very common because you're coming in from the back door, and it's the same tissue that's connected to your G-spot, and it's very sensitive tissues within there, and use a lot of lube. I know you've had them too.
Well, I don't do that one, but I know about it.
Yeah, I mean,
my
I know
best
women
friend, she loves that the most.
Yeah, my ex-roommate used to like that.
Now, let me ask you this, Emily. What do you think about reciprocating the ass-gasm to a man? Is that touching on homosexuality, or is it okay because he's your partner and he's with you?
No, oh my God, it's totally okay. In fact, so happy Anal Pleasure Month, August. You didn't know
Happy
this.
Anal Pleasure Month.
I just did my show about that. So actually, the male prostate, or the male G-spot as they call it, is really, really sensitive. And a lot of men have a lot of pleasure, not just gay men, so straight men. And it's called pegging, or you just stick your fingers in there. And men, a lot of men are freaked out by it.
They're
like,
so
it's going to mean I'm gay.
Yes.
I don't want to do it. But I always say,
the boys. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
They're so shut down. What did you say? Don't touch the boys?
Don't tell the boys.
Yeah.
Right, because they think it makes them gay. Not at all.
Yes.
In fact, it's like the most unknown thing for men. And there's this great, there's butt plug. There's one called the by Vibratex. It's a vibrating butt plug, the Black Pearl it's called, and it's like
vibrating one.
Yeah, I know. I want it to. Is that what you're thinking? Just kidding. But I don't know if you were. But no. But for men, or just a butt plug, whatever they can do, they could try on their own when they're masturbate. A lot of men find if they stick a finger in when they're masturbate, it's like this amazing thing that they. But they don't know
I
because
don't even know how you would
stigma.
make a man comfortable with that, though. If they're so anti,
you just do it. Girl.
You just kind of do it.
You just put your finger. Yeah, you go.
But another cool thing that you could do instead of sticking your finger in there, if you bend your. You bend your knuckle like this, and you just kind of go like this to kind of put a little pressure without putting your finger inside. It kind of does the same thing too.
That way, everybody's cool. Like, you stick on it.
Yeah,
it works.
Like,
but you do that like after they've showered,
or when they're. Well, yeah,
because if it's been a long day,
you shouldn't be having sex.
They took a dump at work,
right?
And
so make sure you wipe yourself.
Like
you definitely want to do it. Yeah, and maybe take a shower beforehand. And also, women, if you're concerned about the way you get shower before you do, or planning on venturing into the anal territory.
Yes.
So it's a good thing to do. Yeah. So
cool.
men, I think that it's like this uncharted territory for them that they got to get over their thing. And why not try it a few times once if you like it? It might, because most straight men I know who have tried are like, oh my God. It's like, I've never had a straight guy be like, I full on tried it, not just like she tried.
And it's not going to turn you gay, okay?
No,
I think that's a misconception.
I mean,
Totally,
gay,
yeah.
like no, it's a male G spot.
It's where it is.
It's supposed to be one of the best orgasms.
Yeah. So, dudes, like, why are you so freaked out? Like, what if it's the best thing in your life and you're in your deathbed and someone sticks your finger in your butt? And you're like, oh my God, I'm about to die, and I could have my entire life been having this G spot, male G spot. You're just so pissed.
I'm just imagining some old guy like trying to turn around.
Do you know what's funny? Older guys actually like it more than younger guys are willing to do because they're more
comfortable.
But they're more confident
Right.
with their bodies and they're more comfortable. Because I did have a guy say like. He goes like touch my ass or something like that, or like, and I was just like, I touched it, but I didn't know what he meant. I didn't know he was like, I want you to like play with my butthole. I didn't know that.
Okay, do it.
Have you had guys ever tell you to play with their
Their
I didn't know
prostate,
that,
yeah,
but they're
totally.
older.
Yes, because they're
A
more
little bit older,
comfortable.
yeah. Not in their 20s, probably.
No,
but then
no.
start them young.
No
They
way.
should know. They're too freaked out. Just like women
40,
in their
50, they're the only ones that have ever
Yeah.
been okay with that.
Or
with me.
sometimes you got to toss a salad to get them comfortable.
Yeah.
Even getting some people to that
That's
point.
the way to start.
But just, I say, even with women, if you want a woman to be comfortable with that, is it don't just start sticking things in. Make sure there's like lube.
You like, where'd that come from?
Rub it around, like the anus. It can be very sensitive, and then maybe stick a pinky in, and you just slowly build up to it.
Slowly.
It's very slowly.
I mean, because a lot of people have bad experiences where someone just like puts it in, no lube, no preparation.
Oh
and
my
they-
God. That sounds awful.
Oh yeah,
It
it
is.
happens to a lot of
happens to
women. They're like, never again. But it's like if you're with an unexperienced partner, that's how you're going to think about it.
And you can
But-
talk them through it, right? Because
Yeah.
that's one of the things that we had mentioned earlier is women maybe needing to communicate more, giving a little bit
Yes.
of guidance.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to give guidance in the process.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think men would totally appreciate that. If they see you getting pleasure with someone who wants to bring you pleasure, because that turns them on as well. I mean, that's the other thing we're talking about oral sex. Like, there's some guys who are like, it's such a turn on to me to please you. That's just,
Right.
But there's some guys that just don't see that. And I don't know if it's just,
And
you
I don't
can't
wanna go
teach them
anywhere near
that this
them.
is going to make.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? There's guys who are like, just get over with or whatever. It's not hot to
Yes.
them. But then there's guys, there are, and then like, how do you teach that to someone? Like, no,
You
no,
can't.
I swear to God, when you look at me being pleasurable,
You
it's going to
can't teach that. I don't think you can teach
no,
that.
you can't. And so that's what I'm saying. There's the guys who that liked it and don't. So
We'll act like it's
that's
their
true.
last
What
meal.
advice would you give to women who don't initiate enough? Because that's a common complaint that men make as far as women
Huge.
in the relationship are concerned is that they have to do all the work. That
Right.
she's not jumping on top of them. And so what would you tell women who need to be more aggressive? How do they, kind of get their, I guess,
Have the
courage up?
confidence to-
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's so simple. Guys are so simple. Like he can walk in the door. Let's say you make a dinner, walk in the door, and you just grab him and you pull his pants down
fun.
and you
Seriously.
go to town.
It's fun.
That's every man's dream to walk in the door and have some oral. You could just say,
Really?
babe, I always say like foreplay starts after the last orgasm. I mean, so you could be like, babe, that was so hot last night, and when you get home, just wait. I'm going to give you the most, intense massage, and I can't wait to feel your body. So just you start building it up, and then you're like already committed in a way. And you're like, oh God, I got it. And then wear something sexy. I mean, I know a lot of it sounds cliche, but truly. We talk about making efforts in a relationship and constantly expanding. Like, wear your little cute things that you never get to wear that you only wear to those crazy parties or whatever. Like, Burning Man or wherever you go. I'm San Francisco. Everyone's got their crazy. But wait, dress up, be cute. Like, make an effort to say, like, take him into the bedroom. Just start it. It could just be with like the making out. Start kissing him. Buy a new toy. If he's talked about something, buy the bondage tape. I love bondage tape. It's like
Right.
you don't need to get you don't need like 50 Shades of Grey, like a dungeon, but you could get like, you could just
That would
do
be
something.
expensive.
Yeah, or blindfold.
Whips and chains.
But like sometimes I just tell blindfold them. Like sometimes it's like this is tonight's all about your pleasure, and then you blindfold them. Use a tie and you lay him down, and then by the bed you could like light a massage candle. You could have some ice cubes, and he doesn't know what's coming next. So then you give him a little massage with the warm, and then that feels really good. And then you put the ice cube in your mouth, and then you drip it down his back, and it's cold.
right.
And then you have some feathers, and it could just be all about his pleasure.
That feather thing is amazing.
Yeah,
I've
right.
experienced that.
So you make it about him that night. I mean, that's more elaborate, but you could also just tell him that you want him and that you're really.
But you know what?
Yeah,
it
that
can
works
also
too.
be the other way around too, where the men. There are certain. My girlfriend's in a relationship where her man never wants to have sex. And
Absolutely.
she's constantly asking him, like, hey, what's going on? What's going on?
It is a myth that, or it's common, people think that
Yeah,
it's the woman
it's
who's
always
frigid.
been,
but
it's
I
not.
hear this more often than not, that a lot of times it's the man
It's
and not the
uncommon.
woman.
And that's a
Yes.
common mistake that women make, is thinking that he always wants to have sex.
Right.
Not true.
And that's not always the case.
No.
Sometimes he's dealing with like the stress of work, family situations,
Yeah,
financial.
It sounds like a conversation that needs to be had, like
Yep.
in with your friend's case. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah,
they need to
yeah.
have a
She's-
conversation,
yeah.
like
Oh,
a
for
real
sure.
conversation.
Yeah.
Or either if you met him that way, then you got with him and you knew
know.
he was like
no,
that.
he
then
wasn't that way in the beginning. They've
So
been
no one
something
is.
It's not like a
beginning.
low sex drive thing.
I don't
something
think
happened,
so.
and she needs to have a conversation.
Well, you know,
If it's
stress
changed like
is
that.
I mean, stress is a huge, especially for men. So if men are like suffering or having issues around work, like let's say financial challenges, or they lose their job, or they're unemployed, I'm telling you, it's like they've been like castrated or something. They're
Yes,
they feel emasculated, because if you go back to like, men are supposed to be the providers, and
Right.
and they literally, it's a biological thing that they feel like if they're not feeling confident, you know, monetarily or professionally, they're not going to want to have sex as much. That's like a big indicator. Is that going on with your friend maybe, or
Yeah, he is having some issues at work.
that's usually it.
Yeah,
If they're
and-
or stress. And
Tell your
so-
friend to call into the studio and speak with Emily right
call
this
her now.
second. If you guys do want to call in, you have every opportunity. Our number is 424-253-0504. And so if you're not able to catch us this day on today's episode of Let's Talk About Sex, next week, keep that number 424-253-0504, and we can answer any questions that you have. We can send them towards Emily. We'll have her back on the show as well.
Oh, so fun. You guys should all come on my show too.
Oh, we
I'd
have
love
to.
to.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, done. I love this. Yeah.
So anybody who doesn't necessarily have maybe all of the Emily tricks in a bag, or you know, the BHL, Let's Talk About Sex tricks in a bag, they can get your book, Hot
Yes,
Sex.
Hot Sex, over 200 things you can try tonight.
So
you can buy it on
awesome.
Amazon, or go to my website, click on the
awesome.
Amazon banner. And yeah, it's like $14 online, and it's a
It's
great
so
gift.
nicely done.
It's
Yeah,
very
it's
well
You
classy.
had mentioned
classic.
that all these photos in here are photographed of real people,
love
like in
it.
these positions.
Yeah, we took video
That is
pictures of
so
people actually
cool.
having sex, and then we had this amazing illustrator in London illustrate it, and it's beautiful. It's I think, I mean, because it's
awesome.
not, sometimes when it's just photographs you might be like, whoa, or if it's just sketches you're like, I don't
Yes.
really get it, but this is like, you know, and
It's not like overwhelming.
it's not exactly.
So it's like activities in
love
here
it.
too. Get carried away, and it gives you all the positions in order to like
love
pick your
this.
partner up.
Exactly. And
pretty
it
cool.
starts with teasing. So there's 4 chapters. It's like tease, explore, adventure, or something I can't remember.
If you
all
do
4.
a book too, I want
there's
to come
4.
to the making.
Is this
if you
in
do a
books?
book too?
You want to be in
I
it?
want to be in the book. I'll be in it with Drea.
Oh my God, I would love it.
I like looking.
Amazon, you know, I would say go to sexwithemily.com and just click on the Hot Sex banner or the Amazon banner, and it's right there on my website. Or just go to Amazon. But
Oh, I just discovered this position.
What position?
This swinging on the porch. We don't have a porch, but I just discovered this position in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I really like this. This one,
Yeah, because you're
I
getting
love this angle.
sitting on his lap. So show him.
This is a great position.
Yeah, because you're getting more G-spot stimulation that way. Or
Really?
clitoral. You can rub against him too. Well, I don't know how you orgasm.
That's
but
my favorite one.
Really?
Like if I want to be in control, I do that one.
With your legs up too, right? Because
I can't do the legs up and then.
No, but it's your
up,
knees
they're
are up.
my
bent. No,
flexibility.
they're bent forward. No, they're not up straight. They're bent still.
Oh,
It's because
okay.
he can really go deeper too when you're in that position. You can control it more.
and then
the depth
Yeah.
and the pen. Right? Is that what you
Well,
like about
yeah,
it?
and then
can
too,
slide.
you can stimulate the clitoris at the same time as the
Right.
as the
Against them.
vaginal. So
Exactly.
you get both going
Yeah.
at the same time.
Right, because you can rub
Yeah,
and he's
exactly.
going deep. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Just 200.
So
Love it.
Hot Sex, and it has over 200.
Over 200 things you can try it, which I think the title's so funny because you're not going to try them all. If you do try them all night, like
try
send me an
one a
email.
day,
But, yeah. I'm like, really?
do, like,
Like, you're going to have a
3.
busy night. But the great thing is, and how a lot of couples or people have emailed me, they use it. They're like, we just open it. Like, we just open it to a
And
page
go.
and we're like, this is what we're doing. Because a lot of times, like, when we go back to like couples have a really hard time communicating, use it as like your third party thing. Like, it's not my idea, but let's see what Emily says in the book, or people listen to my show that way
Right.
as a suggestion. And
It's
we
kind of
can-
like a sex Bible.
yeah, it is, and you don't have to read it one to the, and you can just be like, okay, honey, we've never tried that. I actually, this guy I'm dating was like,
I like
Oh,
that.
have I done
I
that?
definitely need to try that.
4 on the
It's
floor.
fun.
Yeah, there's the pile driver. I mean,
Emily,
there's
I'm
a-
taking this book home and I'm trying
You have a
everything.
lucky man tonight, Spice.
I know.
I'm like, we have to get through all 200 pages tonight.
tonight. Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And then the
yeah.
next day, it's like,
Let me know
Spicy,
what
will
you
you marry
think.
me?
Now, you are pretty popular on social media. You're number one on Twitter as far as like a dating expert is concerned. How did you become a dating expert as well?
Well, I've always been sex and dating. I mean, I think the title of my show, when I first started my podcast, I was like, it could be dating with Emily or sex talk with Emily, and then I just thought sex with Emily. That's the title. But my show, I give a lot of dating and relationship advice too, because it's not that everyone's calling up. I mean, usually they're very closely attached. It's not just like technically people are saying, how do I do this sexually, that? It's like, well, my boyfriend never does this or that, or my boyfriend, or even just talking about breakups. Like, do you think long distance relationships work? I mean, I'd have to say that, maybe even half my show is relationships, the things I deal with. So how did I become I mean, I think I know a lot. I've always been the one that gives advice to people about relationships. I've studied them a lot. I've been in a lot of relationships. And I don't know.
Because you're number one on datingadvice.com as well.
Yeah.
And so, you have the Twitter, this Twitter sexpert thing going, datingadvice.com. I mean, you're giving out this advice left and right, and then you're practicing it too, I'm sure. You practice a lot of those positions as well.
Yep. Yes, exactly. It's a good time.
Each partner, you're like, okay, we have to try a new position from my book.
do, seriously. I was like, can we starting putting flags in there of what we've done and all? Because actually, there's like a few that I actually
What's your favorite, Emily?
My favorite position?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't have a. Let's see, I don't have a favorite position. I really don't. Like, there's not one. I guess I like being on top because I can control it. But that's like so. Let's see, my favorite position in the book.
It's okay if you want to say missionary.
It's not though. I mean, it's not missionary. I like shower sex.
Really?
The whole chapter on that, yeah. It sometimes
depends on
it's
my
like you have to be the right height for shower sex.
I'm looking for like what I like. I don't know.
Shower sex is like a quad
Mutual
workout.
masturbation, can I just tell you, is such a great tip for couples, because we all know that men are very visual. But if you're starting to date someone new, we're talking about like people you're not great at communicating. Two of you sit there and you do your thing, and then it's hot, you're getting turned on, but you're also learning exactly how they touch themselves and what they need.
That's a great
and
tip.
then you're like, I'll just do that. I mean, obviously might be a little more to do, but you just know when it's hot.
I've only done that one time in my whole life.
It's sexy.
Only done what?
The mutual masturbation thing.
I think that women a lot of times think, I don't want them to see me doing it. I'm gonna look weird. My face is. But you know what? It's every guy I've talked to is like, it is the hottest thing in the world.
I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, you don't want to see them.
So we have two tasks. Drea, you have to try masturbating in front of your man, and then Phoenix has to use a toy.
I'm gonna get it from Emily.
Yes. Yes,
I'm shipping them
and
all
then
to you.
we'll report back to the show.
So Emily, before we wrap up the show, we always do the Naked Truth, where you have to bear it to us, okay? And so for today's episode of Naked Truth, we're going to ask you a series of questions, and you have to answer. You're in this hot seat.
I can't even plead the fifth. Okay.
All right. Have you ever been involved with a woman? And if so, do you prefer woman or man?
Been involved? Yeah, I mean,
Sexually,
I've been with a woman, and I'm typically more with men.
All right, girl.
Which was the better experience orally?
Women.
Of course.
But, it's a toss-up. I've had good men, I've had good women, but women, no, they know it's our parts.
So would you get into a serious relationship with a woman?
I haven't yet. I never know what's going to happen to me, but I don't think so, but... Right,
So I don't
know. Serious.
Emily's saying there's a chance.
Yeah. I'm not saying no to anything because who knows? Yeah. I really don't know what my future holds, but I'm pretty open, if you haven't guessed.
Yeah, girlfriend.
Open book. I love it. And do you remember your first orgasm?
I do.
And if so, describe it.
Oh God, my first orgasm. Well, here's the funny thing is that I didn't even know about orgasm until I was in college. I never masturbated.
Really?
Never even occurred to me to masturbate. And I came from a really liberal home. Never masturbated. And then in college, all my friends were like, orgasm. I'm like, what? So yeah, I remember my first one with this guy in college, and it was like, I remember it was like later in life. I was 22, maybe 21. I know. I'm a late bloomer. Maybe that's why I'm all over this stuff. But I was like, oh my God, I think it's what happened. And I was on top, and I remember it. My whole body shuddered and shaked, and it was amazing. It was a good feeling. Yeah.
And she's been having them ever since.
Yep. Okay. I don't know. Is that not? I mean, it was just, I remember knowing it was. I'm like, they think this is it. I think this is it. Because so many women can't orgasm because they're thinking about it all the time, and then they stop themselves. Is it gonna? Is it not? Is that? But I just was like, ride the wave, because I had read everything about it. Because my friends were like, what do you mean? They're emailing me articles. My mom was buying me books. Like they were upset that I couldn't have it. My mom's like, do you ever? And she's like, do you ever smoke pot? That was my mom's thing. I'm like, that was the only sex. She's not even a stoner. I'm like, Mom. really? Like, that's your only sex advice? It was pretty funny. I always laugh about that because it's not even like she smokes.
The worst thing is when you're almost there and it stops. Like, you're almost there, and then, like, they move, or you just don't complete the orgasm.
Right, your phone rings.
And you're trying to catch it, and you're like, oh.
Right. It's called like the missing. It's called like the missing orgasm, or the what is it? The elusive or the missing orgasm. There's a name for it. The evaporating orgasm.
The evaporating orgasm.
It is the worst.
It is the worst. I get angry after that. I'm like,
right. You're angry after me.
I have a question. Have you ever had an orgasm that you missed? You know when you automatically turn sensitive, and it's like, just happened here. Like, I just missed my orgasm.
Yes.
What? It's kind of it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've had the ones that evaporate. They're almost there and close, but I've never like totally missed it. I don't think
I have. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've gone sensitive, and I'm like, I didn't get the.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've gone that where I'm tired and I'm burnt out.
What's the missing orgasm?
I can't explain it really.
It's almost like you're having sex and you feel like you're about to have your orgasm, and then all of a sudden you feel like maybe it was just like a miniature one or something. I don't know, but it was so tiny that you're when after you have your orgasm, your vagina turns very sensitive.
Yes.
So you turn sensitive and you're like, wait a minute, what happened to my really huge orgasm? Like, it was very, like, maybe it was small. Like, I felt it, but maybe I took a breath or something at the wrong time. Or something happened where I missed it.
Oh, I hope that does not happen. I don't want to experience those.
Then you're pissed in your mind. So what you could do is, women have a very short refractory period. So you can just kind of be like, okay, I missed it, relax, and you can go again.
Let's try this again.
No, I do.
I haven't had that, but I've had the ones that are like almost there. Damn, it's not going to happen. Okay.
Ooh, those
can't get it back.
And it's so close. So
close.
Now, our next question for you that we ask every single guest host that comes on the show. Okay, after sex, sleeping, eating, or cuddling?
Cuddling, 100%. I'm such. I just know. I'm a cuddler. I can't live without
want to
cuddling.
nestle up back underneath them?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
like
sweaty,
all
lubed,
night long.
candle massage.
Yeah,
body.
I do. I really love physical touch. I'm super touchy.
Is that your love language?
Yeah. Did you read the 5 Love Languages book? Yeah, me too.
I'm
That's such a great book.
Yes.
I'm so not quality time. I never want to see but I want to cuddle.
Absolutely quality time.
I'm a touch person, but that's a Gemini trait, I think.
Yes,
I'm like, when are you leaving? I don't want quality time.
I have stuff to do.
Okay, I'm busy now.
I'm like, after we cuddle and I get my needs met, you're out. And I'm no, but that's a great book. We're talking about the 5 love languages, and everyone has their things.
Yeah,
right. I think
I recommend that book to a lot of people. When I give my dating advice, I will tell people, if you're going through this and you're not understanding her or you're not understanding him, you need to read the love language, because sometimes people break up just because they don't understand what the partner needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's because like the way we're all raised, we all experience love differently, or we all want love. Like, so for me, like, I just know that I need physical. Like, if a guy doesn't, like, I've slept with a guy maybe the first time we sleep together, and then he rolls over and he's not touching me. I'm like, I feel like like I have to leave. Like, I really feel like I'm dying. But some women are like, do not touch me, do not.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't be with someone who's like, I don't like physical touch.
Right after sex. I'm like,
but that's really
you
common.
did your job. Let's go eat.
And I like words of affirmation. So there's 5 of them. I want you to tell me, like, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I'm hot, it was great. Even though I know it, I need to hear it.
But afterwards, you're going to be asking, so how was it?
But guys, but then, and you could also be with a guy who, he might have different love languages, but so for example, like how they say it is like, if a guy doesn't show me those things, I don't feel like I have to tell him, let him know, like, tell me that. Or a guy might want quality teas, like, Emily, I need to know that. And I was actually dating a guy recently. He's like, I just need to know that you save one night a week for me. Like, he let it know that quality
That's
time.
Important to him. That's
important.
Yeah.
He's like, Lauren will get back to you.
And if he doesn't know that, if he doesn't know that words of
Yeah.
affirmation is one of yours, he might not know to give you that affirmation.
Exactly.
And so now you both are going without something that the other partner needs.
Right.
And you might think somebody's not compatible with you when really they just needed to know your love language.
It's by Gary Chapman, I think, the book. It's a really good one.
And for those of you guys who don't know, it's words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, gifts, and affection.
Yep.
And so those could be something in your relationship that you're missing, that your partner might not be giving to you, or that you need to communicate that you need from them. But everybody has their own. And so you can even take there's a test that you can take with it to figure it out if you don't know what yours is.
Right. And there's a lot of couples who like suffer because she's like, or acts of service, for example, like this is so like stereotypical, like 1950s, but a woman's like, he comes home from work, but he never helps to like do the dishes or with housework. And like, it really makes me frustrated if he would just do acts of service that way. And he's thinking, I come home and I expect the food to be be on the table because I'm working and I'm making.
Right.
But for her, she's not experiencing any love from him. Like no matter what, he could be buying her gifts, he could be telling her she's beautiful, but she does not feel love because he's not doing. You know what I'm saying? So she will never feel love. So once you figure this out, it works for so many couples.
And now he's missing out on a blowjob because he's not doing it.
Exactly, and
he's
has
not
no
getting
idea.
his affection.
Right, exactly, and he needs affirmation, or he needs appreciation, or whatever, So
you guys got to read the book, but you also got to make sure when you pick up the book, the five love languages, that you also get hot sex. Yes. So get both of those books, you guys. Excited. And Emily, we are so happy that you were able to come and share all your sexpertise with us.
Yes. This was so fun. I adore you guys.
We want you all the time. So anytime that you have a free schedule, we're going to bring you back.
Okay, good. Anytime.
Tell all of your fans and everybody watching where they can find you.
Okay. Sexwithemily.com is really like my main point, but I would say follow me on Twitter. I answer your questions. It's at sexwithemily, Instagram at sexwithemily, and then facebook.com/sexwithemily, emilyandtony.com. Use coupon code Emily, but this is all on my website. It's all sexwithemily.com. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So fun. Yes, absolutely. Really, we're going to have you back for sure.
I'm here.
And I am your host, once again, Spicy Madi. You guys can play with my Twitter at spicy_Madi, or you can stroke my Instagram really good at spicy_Madi. Phoenix, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram /PhoenixWhite and my new website, which is phoenixwhite.net.
And you can find me at DreaRenee_N on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thanks, guys. Every Friday, 4:30, we're here. Let's talk about sex.
High five to you.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
BHL, we don't have the ads yet. So
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.